Yo, what's up guys, hope y'all having a great day. Thank you for watching. Today we're talking about Arc Raiders Shrouded Sky patch notes 1.17.0. And I'm not going to lie, it's pretty extensive patch notes, so I'm putting a link in the pinned comment so you guys can check it out for yourself. That being said, what's new? We're getting the Hurricane map condition, 2 new Arc enemies, the weather monitoring system, which is a seasonal player project, a free Raider deck, Damn Battlegrounds map update, expedition window, and facial hair customization, because that's actually the most important part, let's not lie. There's already a few videos I did on the hurricane stuff, so you guys want to check that out. I'll put a link in the corner, or you guys can just check my channel. Besides the thing on the shoulder right here, that's a pretty sick looking cosmetic. Patch notes: weapon balancing, added an interactable piano in the world, prevented enabling all NVIDIA filters to remove an unfair advantage. Feats can now be re-rolled 3 times a day. Remove PvP feats, update a few existing feats, and added some new ones. So it's interesting they got rid of the PvP ones. Makes me think they're leaning more towards the PvE aspect of the game, which no complaints with that. Zip lines can no longer be placed on carryable objects. Mines, traps, and remote flares can no longer be placed on other deployables. So there are some balancing changes here for the weapons, like I said previously. I'm not going to read all of this, so if you're interested, like I said, you can check out the pinned comment. There'll be a link to this, or you can just pause the screen and read it. But I do like how they have the dev notes here, kind of gets into the thought process behind what they're doing. But that being said, like, I'm not going to read all of it. I don't want to make this video super yappy, like a 10-minute video, 20-minute video for no reason. But let's go ahead and check the high points here. So the Stitcher, they reduced the headshot multiplier from 2.5 to 1.75, reduce the base damage from 7 to 6.5, and also increase the shot dispersion to 50%. So it means it just blooms faster, so you're not as accurate, you're not getting headshots as easy. So the kettle, they did mess with it a little bit, but not too much. They just reduced the base damage from 10 to 8.5. That still rewards people that are good at getting headshots with it, because it didn't mess with the multiplier for that. The Venator got nerfed. They reduced the headshot multiplier from 2.5 to 2 and reduced the base damage from 9 to 8. We'll see how that affects it. I'm pretty sure it's still going to dominate PvP because it's just such a versatile weapon. The Jupiter actually got buffed. They improved the ADS magnification from 1.9 to 2.2. They improved the equip time from 1.2 to 1.05. That's not a big difference, but in game it'll probably be noticeable. It'll be less clunky. And the unequipped time from 0.9 to 0.75. So when you're switching to your backup weapon, you'll be able to switch it faster, switch grenades, whatever you need to do. They're trying to make the Felon more of a PvP weapon. So what they did was they reduced the reload time from 4.5 to 3.5, reduced the time between shots from 0.9 to 0.7, reduced the vertical recoil by 50%, and improved the ADS settle speed by 35%. Energy clips are now available default in the workbench. Item values and cost change. A lot of people are going to be upset with this. So the deadline increased from 5K to 6K. The trader price is increased from 15K to 18K. And now you need an arc part to craft it. The Trailblazer is similar. Went from 1600 to 2200. The trader price also went from 4800 to 6600. Wolfpacks increased from 5000 to 6000. Added a Rocketeer drive to the crafting cost, and reduced the refine explosive cost. Vitaspray value increased from 3K to 3400, and they added a tick pod to the crafting cost. Showstoppers value decreased from 2200 to 2100, added a Hornet drive to the crafting cost, and they changed the crafting component from the advanced electronic component to the electronic component. Content and bug fixes. I'm actually not going to read all of these. I'm just going to leave them on screen. You can pause it and read it for yourself, or check the pinned comment. I will say there's one funny in here. Scrappy has received your feedback about being too noisy, and now will cluck less frequently. Be funny if they actually made him cluck more. Also, we got some new cosmetics. The Volor set, or Voltaire, I don't know. Words are hard. I'm not really good at speaking. Florida man here. Also, we got the Surgeon set. Devotee set coming soon. They added facial hair. Fixed incorrect visor glass material on the Marco set. And fixed clipping on certain outfits, which is kind of cool. I mean, you can spend money on some of these. You want them to work great. You don't want them to look weird. So we do have some gameplay changes. Again, I'll just go ahead and leave this on screen. If you guys want to check this out, you can pause and read it for yourself. There's really not too much in here that's important. So we have some map changes. They fixed broken interactions. near the top of certain ladders. They fix missing collision, clipping, and some stuff like that. Also, just general light fixes across the map. Buried City, they reduce the chance of finding rare loot in the chimneys when you do Bird City, which kind of sucks. We have a bunch of fixes here on Stella Montes. Blue Gate, they improve the thunderstorm lighting and fix issues where players could go out of bounds. Some movement changes here, nothing too crazy. I already talked about some of the progression stuff. You can now reroll feats. They removed the PvP feats. They added Expedition catch-up system for skill points. Fixed an issue where players didn't get their skill points when indicated on screen. Candleberries and Blue Gate now count towards your harvest plant trial. We got some quest quality of life fixes here. Nothing too crazy. Some social, some UI. Utility. So I thought this was pretty cool. The pop triggers and spotter relays can now be used in your quick slot. The spotter relay can now be deployed as a trap to lure a nearby arc, and the pop trigger can now be deployed as it rolls forward and explodes. I thought that was pretty dope. Some VFX changes, nothing too crazy again. And these are known issues that they're working on. I'll just leave this on the screen so you guys can check it out. And this is kind of cool about the anti-cheat. I'm not going to read all of them. I'm just going to kind of paraphrase. They want harsh consequences for people who are cheating. So if they have strong indications that you're cheating, they're just going to permanently ban you off the bat, which is pretty cool. And for other people, they're going to give you a temporary suspension and just a single chance to correct behavior. If you do it again, they're going to permanently ban you, which is pretty cool. And also they're going to have an appeals program. So if you did get wrongly banned, you can appeal it or whatever. Everyone who actually cheats, they always say, oh, I was wrongly banned. I didn't even do anything. They probably did cheat. They're just a liar. Cheaters are always liars. They go hand in hand with each other. So now that we're done with the patch, let's go ahead and check out the in-game stuff. So first up, let's check out the Raider customizations. So this is the facial hair stuff. This is the free one. Stubble. It's okay. The beard is where it's at, obviously. This one looks okay. We also have a new player project. Here's the weather monitoring system. And if you complete it, you get this stuff right here. Nothing too crazy. Here's the free deck that we get. That's pretty good for Scrappy. It's funny. Here's the beard. Everyone's going to be working towards this. Let's go ahead and check out the shop, see what's new. So this is the Voltaire or Voltaire. I don't know. I can't pronounce words. It looks pretty cool, though. I'm not going to lie. Let's check out the different color combinations. This one looks the best. It's pretty cool. I do like it. 1300. It's kind of worth. Let's see what the backpack looks like. The bag looks pretty cool. I was going to say, it reminds me of the Mountaineer one. For sure it is just a Mountaineer one. We also have this short curly hair. Let's check this out. Okay. And the stubble beard. I don't really like the way it looks. I think if you're going to do anything, just get the full beard. It's for free anyway. Just take a lot of time to grind it. So that being said, that's everything from Shrouded Sky at the moment. Let me know down in the comment what you guys think. Also, if you guys want to stay up to date, Arc Raiders, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell, and I'll catch you all later. Deuces.